What's causing your eye to twitch like my patient right here?
When I originally started on Instagram, I started with the goal of just increasing patient education about strabismus, which is eye misalignment. There's a misconception that you can be too old for the surgery, that insurance doesn't cover it. So that was really my primary reason for going onto Instagram. And I started getting messages from younger women in high school, in college, and in medical school even. My family says I can't be a surgeon and be a mother. What do you think of this? I mean, so many that I felt that it was really important to address that, because I do really believe that if you can see it, you can be it. And when I have my own daughter, I have my own boys, and I see the power of that. So I thought it was really important to pull back the curtain so that others can see how I make my life work. We had babysitters 40 hours, 50 hours a week when the kids were young. And I think to pretend otherwise sets a really unattainably high bar for others, and then they're going to feel like they're not succeeding. So I think it's important to be as honest and as transparent as I can be while still respecting the privacy of my family. When we all had to quarantine back in March of 2020, we did shut down our eye clinic for 6 weeks. And even though we are considered an essential business, the American Academy of Ophthalmology had recommended that all ophthalmologists close their practice simply to conserve PPE. Because if you remember back then, we didn't have enough gloves, we didn't have enough masks, and they didn't want us putting a drain on our resources. Now, we were still seeing urgent patients and emergencies, but we closed for our regular clinic care. So that meant we were at home for 6 weeks with our 3 children, homeschooling them as they were navigating this crazy time. And I had a lot more free time, so I decided to try to explore TikTok, and I finally became addicted. I didn't understand it at first. It took me a really long time to get it. And then I saw the power in that short form video content and the way to reach a really different audience than I was reaching with my Instagram platform. And I think each of the social media platforms offers something unique. I think I have a different message for each of the social media platforms, and I'm able to reach different patients in that way too. My social media journey kind of evolved organically, and it's not something that I ever thought would grow to the level that it has. But because it has, I think it's created different goals for me now. I think, educate people nationally, people that I don't see face to face, and that's really important. I like when someone has said to me, hey, I saw your YouTube and I was going to use this lash serum that I bought, out of the country and that had all these harmful ingredients, but I saw your video and that convinced me otherwise. I mean, that you're able to touch the lives of people that aren't physically in front of you. And so it's kind of set different goals for me in that way. I don't necessarily have goals for the social media, but I think I'd like to continue it. I think there's also a lot of hesitancy about how to do social media right, especially as a medical student and as a resident. And I think it's really important first that you always check with the university or with whichever hospital you're rotating at or whoever's private practice you're visiting about their social media policies, because you have to be really mindful, and it's important to learn these skills early on. You have to be mindful if you take a selfie, what's in the background? Is there a patient in the background? Is there a clinic chart where you could zoom in and see their name? Is there a CAT scan up on the monitor behind you? You want to double check with the hospitals regarding their policies before you ever post anything. But that being said, if you get the go ahead and if you read their social media policy, I think it's a really wonderful way to also deepen your connection with patients. It's not just about becoming an influencer. I think it's a great way to have a different kind of relationship with your patients. Like we mentioned before, I have patients that have found me on YouTube or Instagram, or really mainly it seems to be on TikTok and YouTube that they find me, and they come in and they've seen my kids, they've seen my family, they know I like to wear magnetic lashes or whatever it is. So it starts the conversation at a different point. So you can do social media professionally, but you just need to be mindful about all of the things you learn about in medicine regarding HIPAA consent.